President Trump's executive order suspending the refugee admissions program is now affecting families in our area. We talked to Canopy NWA about what's going on. Rumors of raids by ICE have been swirling around local communities, leaving Hispanic residents concerned. What the Benton County Sheriff's Office is saying. New smartphones are hitting the market and promising more artificial intelligence, but do consumers want it? Later in your consumer news, a look at what phones are capable of.
Covering news where you live. This is 5 News at 5.
Thanks for joining us for your 5 News at 5, streaming only on 5+. I'm Lauren Spencer. Darren and Alexandra both have the night off. New at 5, President Donald Trump's executive order suspending the U.S. refugee admission program is now directly impacting families in our area. 5 News reporter Kayla Davis spoke to a nonprofit in the area dedicated to finding refugees safe homes about what the impact on these families is.
With unrest across the world, many forced to flee a war or persecution look to America with hope for a safe future. That's exactly what 11 families set to reunite with their family members in Northwest Arkansas were looking forward to in just a few short days. But that reunion won't happen.
This week, the Canopy team is calling relatives here in our community to say, I am so sorry. Your family is not coming as expected. Even though you've been waiting and preparing months and months, you may not have seen your family members in years. Finally, they were scheduled to come, and now they're not, and I'm so sorry.
Joanna Krause is executive director of Canopy NWA, a refugee resettlement agency based in Fayetteville. Canopy may have to wait 3 months or more before it can get those 36 waiting refugees to Northwest Arkansas. Why?
Monday night, the executive order was passed that may stop refugee resettlement indefinitely.
That order from President Trump suspended the United States Refugee Admissions Program. The order states in part, quote, "The country lacks the ability to absorb large numbers of migrants and in particular refugees into its communities in a manner that does not compromise the availability of resources for Americans."
It can take years to do background checks, security screenings, medical and health checks, and they're often within refugee camps where they've been waiting for this opportunity to travel for decades. So to finally be at that point where you've completed all of the arduous, lengthy process, been certified, have a plane ticket, and then to have that canceled is truly devastating.
President Trump has ordered federal officials to report back whether the program is in the interest of the country at the end of the 90-day suspension. Meanwhile, Canopy says they will do everything they can to support the families that are already here.
We want to make sure that every student who's in high school has a plan to get to graduation and a plan for after graduation. Some refugees come with very highly skilled skills and they need to recertify. So looking for career mentors, opportunities to upskill in career ladder. Refugees also need to go through the immigration pathway. So to apply for a green card after 1 year, apply for citizenship after 5 years.
Steps in the process for refugees. Attorney Krause hopes the 36 Canopy refugees will soon have the chance to begin alongside their families. In Fayetteville, covering news where you live, Kayla Davis, 5 News.
Let's go ahead and take a look outside. This is live in Ozark from the Arkansas Valley Electric and Wave camera. Scott, this is a beautiful shot out here. It looks beautiful out there. Still a little bit cold. What can people expect for their Friday night and their weekend?
You know what? For the weekend, it's going to be somewhat mild out there, especially tomorrow. We'll dive deep into your weekend forecast. Here's where we're at out there right now. It was a mild day. For the most part, many of us got into the 50s, upper 40s out there. Sallisaw, Fort Smith sitting at 50 degrees. Fayetteville down to 44 degrees. We're sitting at 43 currently in Bentonville. 48 Alma and Charleston. 42 your temperature in West Fork this evening. How different is that from just 24 hours ago? I love looking at this map because it gives us an idea of what kind of changes we've been experiencing. And we're notably warmer across most of the area, especially northwest Arkansas. This, of course, just compared to 24 hours ago. And it shows that warming trend, which is likely going to continue tomorrow. And part of the reason why it was so warm today, and part of the reason why we're expecting a nice, mild Saturday, it's those winds. They've been breezy at times. You probably noticed that, 10 to 15 miles per hour straight out of the south. And that southerly direction is what's pumping in that warmer air mass. There's a bit of a boundary that's also probably going to pass through the area, and that may help us warm up as well. Hey, do you have plans tonight? Somebody out there has a hot day. This is what kind of weather you should dress for. Temperatures dropping pretty quickly down into the 30s, mostly clear skies overnight tonight. We'll notice a few clouds starting to move into the area by early tomorrow morning. We'll call your Saturday partly cloudy to mostly cloudy at times. Overnight temperatures dropping to just above freezing in the River Valley. In terms of what all we're tracking over the next several days, not only is tomorrow going to be mild, but there is a low chance of a couple of sprinkles out there this weekend. We'll track those together. And then we really got to turn our attention to next week, which is actually shaping up to be somewhat of an active weather pattern with some chances of rain. You may have heard us talking about that in previous days. There's been some changes. The system's evolving a little bit differently. The timeline has also shifted a bit. We'll have the very latest in just a few.
Thanks, Scott. The state continues its fight against human trafficking. Attorney General Tim Griffin sharing today his office collaborated with local authorities to shut down illicit massage parlors, including one in our area.
January just happens to be National Human Trafficking Prevention Month. We didn't plan this to be in January. This has been literally about 2 years in the works.
Chun-Li Wang is facing 1 count of second-degree sexual assault after a raid at Ping Massage Spa along South 8th Street in Rogers. The raid also resulted in 1 arrest in Harrison, along with 2 in Jonesboro. Griffin says 17 victims of human trafficking were identified and 16 received aid. Video of that raid is circulating online, and it has prompted unfounded rumors of immigration raids in our area, causing concern for members of the Hispanic community. This is video of law enforcement outside the spa on Thursday. It sits next to several Hispanic-owned businesses. The Benton County Sheriff's Office says rumors of immigration and customs enforcement raids are false, tying videos like that one to larger statewide operation. Edwin Acosta, the owner of El Pueblo Market, says rumors are now affecting his business.
Nosotros vivimos de los hispanos, de la gente pues trabajadora, y hoy todos tenemos miedo de eso. Al ver autoridades en la calle todos pensamos que es inmigración, cuando pues aún no hemos visto nosotros inmigración.
Immigration attorney Nathan Bogert explains that the panic could be a result of what he calls President Trump's shock and awe strategy. He says while many of the president's executive orders will end up stuck in litigation, they're still creating concerns. A closer look at those potential impacts tonight at 6. There are a lot of people confused about all the executive orders President Trump signed on his first day in office. Ariane Datil with our National Verify team looks into claims that one of Trump's executive orders repealed the Biden-era $35 monthly cap on insulin.
Millions of Americans have diabetes, and many of them need insulin to survive. But the price of the medication in the United States has historically been expensive for many. Amid a slew of executive orders signed by President Trump on the first day of his second term in office, people on social media claimed he ended the $35 cap on insulin prices. But is that true? Let's verify using these sources. On January 20th, President Trump signed executive orders ending some Biden directives that impact healthcare, including one intended to experiment with lowering prescription drug costs for people on Medicare and Medicaid. But those executive orders did not end the $35 monthly cap on insulin. Medicare's $35 insulin price cap was signed into law through the Inflation Reduction Act, which means it would take another law passed by Congress to change or get rid of the price cap. Private drug manufacturers have also capped the cost of their insulin. In 2023, Eli Lilly capped out-of-pocket costs for its insulin at $35 at participating pharmacies for people with commercial insurance. It also created a savings card for people without insurance to use to get its insulin for $35 a month. Since Eli Lilly is a private drug manufacturer, Trump would not be able to remove the company's voluntary price caps through an executive order. Nor would he likely want to, since he was responsible for instituting the $35 copay cap for some Medicare patients in 2020. With your Verify, I'm Ariane Datil.
President Donald Trump is taking the first trip of his second administration to visit communities recovering from recent disasters. President Trump and First Lady Melania Trump visited North Carolina Friday to see firsthand the damage left behind by Hurricane Helene 4 months ago.
We've come to North Carolina with a simple message for all the people of this region who were hit so hard by Hurricane Helene, and that message is very simple. You are not forgotten any longer.
It was the president's first stop on a disaster tour that will take him to Los Angeles later today to survey the still burning catastrophic wildfires that killed more than 24 and left thousands without their homes. The president's visit coincides with the annual anti-abortion rights rally in D.C. Despite the Supreme Court overturning Roe v. Wade in 2022, organizers say there's still more work to do to reduce the number of abortions in the U.S. each year. Another hostage release is set for this weekend, with Hamas announcing it will keep 4 Israeli soldiers kidnapped in the October 7th attacks. CBS's Ramy Inocencio is tracking it all from Tel Aviv.
Hamas has released the names of 4 more Israeli hostages, which will be a huge relief, of course, to their families here in Israel after the past 15 months of captivity. They are all female soldiers, aged either 19 or 20, and in keeping with a statement given by Hamas official earlier this week. Now, the next step, which is expected to be Saturday, is the exchange of these 4 hostages for 200 Palestinian detainees held in Israeli prisons. And we could see images like this from the first tense hostage release we reported last Sunday of 3 female civilians. We are now in day 6 of this ceasefire. It is fragile, but it is holding, and that is despite Israeli tank shelling that killed 2 Palestinians this week. Aid is still surging in. The UN said more than 650 trucks of food and supplies rolled into Gaza on Thursday. That is above the 600 per day agreed in the deal. And Gazans, they are hoping to start returning north this weekend, also as agreed. Meantime, in the south, people have already been making their way home any way they can to find just rubble and trying to dig out and lay to rest the remains of their loved ones. More than 10,000 bodies are out there in the Strip. That is an estimate from the Hamas-run Civil Defense. And now back to Saturday's expected hostage swap. If that happens, then 89 hostages would still be left in Gaza. 7 of those are American, and just 3 are believed to still be alive. Ramy Inocencio, CBS News, Tel Aviv.
All right, time now is 5:15. Let's get you a check of traffic out there. No accidents in Northwest Arkansas. We do have a live look here from Rogers along New Hope Road at I-49. A little bit of volume out there, as you would expect this time of the afternoon into the evening. Nothing unusual out there. I do want to tell you about an accident in Scott County. This was going to be about 5.5 miles towards the south of Mansfield along 71. It did involve a school bus from Mena. Now, school officials and the Scott County Sheriff, Randy Shores, tells us no kids were injured in that accident. That's the good news, but that scene is still there along 71, about 5.5 miles southeast of Mansfield, so you might have a little bit of delays in that area. We're heading into the weekend. Weather's going to be somewhat nice for us. There are some slight chances of a few sprinkles. We'll walk through that, and we'll give you the very latest update on next week's rain chances so you can make plans accordingly. Your forecast is just up in a few minutes.
For the Chiefs fans, the AFC Championship will air right here on Channel 5. Coverage starts at 5:30 Sunday evening. And that means changes to our afternoon lineup. We'll have a special edition of 5 News first at 4, followed by Courtside with Cal at 4:30. And at 5, you can catch the NFL Today. We'll be back for your 5 News at 10, followed by an all-new Late Show with Stephen Colbert. Cell phones do much more than make calls. They've become our camera, music device, television, and navigation system. Now tech companies are trying to make the smartphone smarter than ever.
Samsung is out with a new smartphone, and artificial intelligence is at the center of it.
We are setting the standard for mobile AI innovation.
The Galaxy S25 comes with Google's Gemini technology, which can help with questions or offer dinner ideas just by taking a look at what's in your refrigerator.
Can you recommend me some recipes with these?
Sure, here are some recipe ideas based on what I found in your fridge.
Gemini is also available on Google Pixel phones and allows users to carry on a conversation.
Can you explain organic chemistry as if it were some juicy gossip?
Organic chemistry is all about carbon's relationships, who it's bonding with, who it's breaking up with, and what kind of crazy molecules they're forming.
Apple is also making the phone more of a personal assistant. Apple Intelligence can transform a short note into a formal invitation and create custom emojis based on your description. But apparently, the new technology has yet to impress consumers. A survey last month from the smartphone marketplace CellCell found that 73% of iPhone users and 87% of Samsung users say AI features add little to no value. However, analysts believe that will change as the tech improves.
There's been a lot of hype around AI and some of the things theoretically it could do, but I feel like today we started to get a hint at some stuff that, regular people are going to want to use and that will be truly impactful.
Experts add that smartphone companies are spending billions on artificial intelligence, so you can expect more new AI features in the future. Danya Backus, CBS News, Los Angeles.
Get a look at what some are calling the glimpse of the future. The tech curious at the World Economic Forum in Switzerland this week could attend a demonstration of Meta's Oron augmented reality glasses. The wearable tech uses holographic projection, allowing users to see graphics of their field of view. The high-tech glasses have eye tracking that acts like a mouse cursor and a wristband to read movement signals from the brain.
You're looking at the physical world, and we're overlaying digital content on top of it. It allows for things like having a virtual TV on the wall, walking down the street and having arrows overlaid on the street where you're supposed to make a turn instead of having to look at a screen.
Meta chief Mark Zuckerberg has suggested in the future smart glasses will replace smartphones as the main mode of communication. 59% of Americans don't have enough savings to cover a $1,000 emergency expense, according to a new survey from Bankrate. Despite cooling inflation, higher prices and shrinking products have cut into many Americans' ability to save as much. Bankrate also found that 73% of people say they're saving less for unexpected expenses, up 68% from last year. The Slacker and family Purdue Pharma have reached a $7 billion settlement deal with 15 states for fueling the opioid crisis. That's according to New York's Attorney General. The settlement also bars the Slacker family from selling opioids in the U.S., and it bars them from running Purdue Pharma. If approved in court, the funds would go towards supporting opioid addiction treatment, prevention, and recovery programs nationwide. Meanwhile, Fitbit has agreed to pay more than $12 million civil penalty over its recalled Ionic smartwatches. According to the Consumer Product Safety Commission, the smartwatches contained a defect that caused them to overheat and burn more than 70 users. Fitbit discontinued the product back in 2020. Stocks edged back from their all-time high as they closed out a second straight winning week. Let's take a look at how things ended up. The Dow dropped almost 141 points to 44,424. The Nasdaq losing 99 points to close out at 19,954. And the S&P lost 17 points today, ending the day at 6,101. Taking you back outside, you're looking live in Bentonville from the Jack Links camera. Scott, it's looking pretty clear out there. It might be a little bit cold tonight. What can people expect for their Friday night, right?
Yeah, no question about it. Temperatures are going to drop off. You're going to want that coat if you'll be out and about. Maybe you're going to see a movie, or maybe you're just waiting until this weekend. It'll be a little bit more mild out there tomorrow. Sunset and all across the area. High pressure dominating our forecast today, and that really kept our skies nice and clear. In fact, looking around the area, it's hard to even find a cloud in the sky. Sunset officially this evening at 5:35. 30 overnight tonight in Northwest Arkansas, but we're going to rebound real nicely tomorrow. 52 degrees. First time we've been in the 50s in a while. And Sunday, it's going to be a little bit colder. Clouds are going to thicken up. We'll have a cold front move through. 42 degrees is as warm as it's going to get on Sunday. I know that's not the direction a lot of us want to be trending in. Don't worry. By early next week, we'll be back in the 50s once more. Let's dive into that River Valley forecast. 55 tomorrow. We'll have a partly cloudy sky. A little bit of sunshine here and there. It's going to be mild, warmer than it was out there today. 20% chance of a few spotty showers. Best timing of those probably later in the day into the evening. Not everyone sees rain. In fact, most of us probably won't. And we'll carry a 10% chance into the forecast for Sunday. Also noticing a dip in those temperatures down into the mid to upper 40s come Sunday. Southerly winds have been really breezy today, 10 to 15 miles per hour, and that's what's helped fuel a lot of this warm up. There is a weak boundary just off to our south and west. That very well could result in a slight warm up over the next couple of hours, but for the most part, it should pass through without much fanfare. Tomorrow's forecast looks like this. We're dropping into those 30s, but by, let's say, tomorrow afternoon, Northwest Arkansas sees that high of 52 degrees around 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Partly to mostly cloudy skies, so maybe not the prettiest of days, but it'll be mild enough that I think we're finally going to be able to get outside, stretch our legs, get some nice fresh air. We've been cooped up in these cold temperatures the last several days. Tomorrow's a good day to get out there, take advantage of the mild weather while we have it. 55-degree reading tomorrow afternoon, 2, 3, 4 o'clock in the River Valley. Not a bad day at all. In terms of what's to come, let's walk through Futurecast here. This is going to be tomorrow. Clouds thicken up throughout the course of the day. We get into the evening, and you notice there are a few spotty raindrops here and there, predominantly south of Interstate 40. So I don't think a lot of us are going to see rain. Just enough of a chance that we'll keep it in the forecast, but I wouldn't expect this weekend to be a washout by any stretch of the imagination. Going into Sunday, we might have another shot of a couple of sprinkles out there. You'll also find the bulk of those off to our south. Not necessarily a big concern, but you notice we do stay rather cloudy. This is 5 p.m. Sunday evening. LaFleur, Scott County, maybe a little bit better favored than others out there to see 1 or 2 of those spotty showers. Not a big deal. Let's take a look at that warming trend. 50 back returns by Monday, 55 on Tuesday. That's going to feel really warm out there. Low 50s Wednesday, Thursday. We do start to drop a little bit about 7 days from now, but we're still in the 50s, which is really where we would expect to be this time of the year in the River Valley. Yeah, we've got that big dip on Sunday. It's going to be a cool day. Maybe stay in, watch that AFC Championship right here on Channel 5. Low 50s Monday, warming up near 60. I don't think we're going to get there Tuesday, but we're certainly going to make a run for it. The reason we're dipping those temperatures, there's going to be a storm system moving into the area. You've heard us tracking this the last several days, but the timing and the evolution of this system has changed just a bit. Here is the very latest. Thursday now looks to be mostly dry the first half of the day. But according to this model, and there's some discrepancy out there, but according to this one, where we stand right now is those rain showers might start to increase Thursday evening, really going into Friday. This is Friday afternoon. We're getting close to that freezing line. Now, as of right now, I'm not going to call for any wintry precipitation in our neck of the woods, but just our proximity to that, how close we are, does give me some pause, especially how far away we are and the discrepancies that exist. It's really going to come down to the storm track. How many times have we said that this winter? We'll have to keep saying it for this system here. Right now, I think it's mostly a rain, maybe even a thunderstorm event for many of us. Some of these rain showers very well could linger over into Saturday morning. Snow, winter precip more likely up in Kansas and Missouri over the next 7 days. This is a rough estimate of how much rain we can expect. In Northwest Arkansas, I think we'll pick up about an inch. We work our way down 49 south of the tunnel. We get into the River Valley, and maybe that I-40 corridor between 40 Fort Smith, Clarksville, right around 2 inches. You go a little bit further south in the Ouachitas, maybe we can pick up about 3 inches of rain. Again, a lot of this is also going to be dictated by that storm track. Depending on where it shifts, north, south, that's going to kind of move some of this axis of precipitation for us as well. We'll keep you posted on that. Let me back up to your Northwest Arkansas 7-day forecast. What you're going to find is that Sunday, mostly dry now. We've been able to take out that rain chance. Monday's going to be a good day. Tuesday's not bad. We'll watch for 1 or 2 spotty sprinkles out ahead of that main system, but we've actually shifted the highest chance of rain from Wednesday. That's what it was last night. Given the slower evolving nature of this storm system, I think Thursday into Friday might be our better bet. Even despite that, look at those temperatures. We're still above freezing at all points. So we get close though Friday. Notice those low temperatures dropping to 34. It all really comes down to that storm track. Where is that cold air going to be? Where's the warm sector going to be? That's certainly something we're going to have to follow really closely over the next several days. And you can bet we're going to do just that. 30 tomorrow, 55 in the afternoon. Not a bad weekend. Certainly take advantage of it while you can. Warm weather the first few days of next week with no rain chances. That's going to be nice Monday and Tuesday. And then we're probably going to end up needing the umbrella Wednesday night at the earliest. Really Thursday and Friday right now looks to be the wettest of the days next week. And we could have some thunderstorms out there. There are some signs that depending on where this storm system actually ends up tracking may dictate whether or not we see just a steady rain, maybe we see rain and storms, or potentially, and it's not out of the question that we might have to deal with a little bit of a wintry mix out there as well. Too far out to tell for right now, but it's certainly something that I think will be more clear by maybe Sunday into Monday.
Yeah, it's interesting to see rain back up in the forecast.
Oh, I know, and you know the drought monitor came out yesterday, and it does show some abnormally dry conditions in Northwest Arkansas. And that was a little bit alarming to me because you recall, everyone will recall, we were in a pretty bad drought, especially in Benton and Washington County, most of the summer into the fall. We erased it, and we've been doing good. But if you think about it, when's the last time we saw rain? It's been a while. We've not seen a lot of rain, and you might recall we got a whole bunch of snow. Interestingly enough, I know we talked about this last night on the 10 o'clock newscast, the snow to liquid ratio, and I know this gets really nerdy.
Bear with us.
This is a 5+ special.
It's interesting, I promise.
Typically, you see about a 10-to-1 ratio. So if you got 5 inches of snow, you really only actually end up getting about a ½ inch of rain after it all melts down. ½ inch of rain, that ain't really much to put a dent into a drought. So if we can pick up what we expect to pick up late next week, we'll probably be in good shape.
Yeah. All right. We'll see what happens.
Yep.
Thanks, Scott. Hundreds of junior high and high school band students have been putting their musical talents to the test. New tonight, those students will be joining the All-Region Band Super Clinic. The school involved and where you can catch the concert. That's coming up on your 5 News at 6. A quick reminder of a programming alert to share with you due to CBS's coverage of the PGA Tour Farmers Insurance Open. Today, your 5 News at 6 will also stream only on 5+. The app is available for Roku, Amazon Fire, and Apple TV. For download instructions, scan the QR code on your screen or search 5 News in your app store. We here at CBS News ourselves are making a bit of news. On Monday night, we're launching a brand new CBS Evening News. The broadcast returns to New York from D.C., and its location is far from the only change CBS News is. Christine Johnson is here with more on what you can expect.
The all-new CBS Evening News.
The first, most notable difference with the CBS Evening News relaunch is the move from one face to two. CBS News New York's Maurice Dubois and longtime CBS News journalist John Dickerson will lead the broadcast.
Our curiosity working in tandem is what I'm most excited about discovering.
We come from different places, different experiences. What that does is we fill in each other's blanks.
Yeah.
I may start here, he'll see it there.
The new team at the helm of the recrafting of the evening news has close ties to 60 Minutes, the #1 news program for the past 50 years.
Additive, distinctive, and elegant. Those are the 3 words that kind of are the pillars around which the broadcast is built. If we're not adding something to the conversation, we shouldn't do it.
Moderator of Face the Nation, Margaret Brennan, will be a regular on the program for in-depth insight on the day's political and foreign affairs news. Chief weathercaster Lonnie Quinn will deliver forecast and detail the impact of natural disasters like the wildfires we witnessed in California.
All these amazing correspondents all over the country. The questions we want to know from them, and that we'll be asking on the air and learning the answer at the same time the viewers will, that's the best way to tell some of these complicated stories.
The newscast will feature a modernized, immersive set, the first of its kind in network news. Christine Johnson, CBS News, New York.
One final check of that 7-day forecast. We begin with the River Valley. It's going to be mild out there tomorrow. If you don't have weekend plans, hey, you got to make some. It's not often we get these nice, comfortable temperatures, several degrees above average this time of the year. Sunday, we're going to need the coats, but I still think upper 40s, it's fine weather to get out there. Maybe go take a hike, visit a local state park. Certainly going to be a nice one to get out there and do that. Nice warming trend continues into Tuesday. That's probably the warmest day of the week. And of course, we've been tracking that rain chance late next week. We'll keep following that and keep you posted over the next several days. In the meantime, not a bad weekend. We're thawing out. I think the cold weather is behind us for the time being, but don't pack away those heavy coats just yet. I know you're looking at that 7-day forecast and you're thinking, okay, winter is over, put a fork in it. Not so fast. I think we might have another blast or two of some cold Arctic air to spill it. A cold or two, loosely speaking. It's not even February yet. It's not even February.
I'm being too greedy, definitely,
Well,
with the warm weather we're seeing in the forecast.
Yeah, we'll enjoy it while we can, right?
I agree. All right, thanks, Scott. We will see you back here in another 30 minutes.